Hello, and welcome again to Crime Chronicles. Imagine tuning into Life Stories, a reality TV show known for celebrity secrets, only to witness a dark twist unfold. The atmosphere grew tense when an unexpected comment from a lesser-known actor brought a long-forgotten triple homicide back into the public eye. Initially captivated by celebrity anecdotes, the audience was suddenly thrust into the midst of a live confession, unraveling a deep mystery. The actor, overwhelmed, tried to backtrack, but the truth had already been revealed. Live television had inadvertently uncovered a secret that captivated the nation. Across the country, viewers were glued to their screens, but the revelation hit hardest in the small town where the murders took place. In that town, the victims' families watched, their sorrow mixed with a flicker of hope. The news spread rapidly, rekindling interest in a case that had faded from memory. Police quickly leveraged the new information, injecting vitality into the cold case with new leads. This unexpected confession not only reopened old wounds but also set off a search for truth, highlighting the powerful and unforeseen role media plays in justice. Stay with us to uncover never-before-seen footage and hear first-hand accounts that shed new light on this mysterious case. Discover the untold story behind the headlines. The year was 1998. The small town, typically peaceful and close-knit, was thrust into the national spotlight when 3 of its residents vanished without a trace after attending the annual county fair. The missing persons were 2 high school sweethearts, beloved for their kindness and bright futures, and a local mechanic known for his generosity. Their disappearance left the community grappling with fear and uncertainty, casting a dark shadow over what was once considered a safe haven. Investigations immediately ensued, with local police working tirelessly alongside volunteers combing through every inch of the town and its surrounding areas. Days turned into weeks with no sign of the missing trio. Speculation ran rampant, with theories ranging from a planned elopement to a tragic accident. However, no substantial evidence surfaced, leaving more questions than answers and a pervasive sense of helplessness among the townsfolk. The case drew attention from various media outlets, each iteration of the story adding to the town's growing unease. Parents hugged their children a little tighter, and neighbors viewed one another with a hint of suspicion. The mystery of the missing trio not only disrupted the physical peace of the town, but permeated the psychological fabric of its residents, embedding a chronic unease that would linger for years. In the initial stages of the investigation, law enforcement gathered as much information as possible from friends, families, and witnesses. The last known location of the trio was heavily scrutinized, and personal belongings were examined for any latent clues. Despite the exhaustive efforts, the breakthrough remained elusive, with each clue seeming to only deepen the mystery rather than clarify it. Advanced forensic techniques were limited at the time, and the rural setting of the town posed additional challenges in the investigation. The landscape was vast, and resources were stretched thin. As weeks turned into months, the fervor of the initial search waned, and the community's hope for a resolution began to dim. The case was becoming colder by the day, with every lead pursued ending in frustration and dead ends. The impact on the investigative team was palpable. The officers, many of whom had personal ties to the victims or their families, felt each setback acutely. The professional merged with the personal as they bore the weight of communal expectation and the personal desire for closure. The stagnation of the case not only tested the limits of their professional capabilities, but also strained their emotional resilience, embedding a sense of personal failure that would haunt many for years to come. As years passed, the fervor and hope that once fueled the investigation diminished. The case of the missing trio transitioned into a cold case file, tucked away in the dusty confines of the police department's archives. Anniversaries of the disappearance were marked by solemn vigils and renewed pleas for information, but the trail seemed permanently cold. The community gradually adjusted to the unresolved pain, accepting the uncertainty as a permanent shadow over their lives. Behind closed doors, families of the victims continued to seek answers, meeting with private investigators and consulting psychic mediums in desperate bids to uncover any new leads. Their homes became shrines to the lost, with rooms preserved just as they had been left decades ago. The enduring mystery fueled a continuous cycle of grief and hope, a torturous limbo that disrupted the natural process of healing and moving forward. In the broader community, the unresolved case influenced local culture and behavior. Children were cautioned not to stray far from home, and community events were tinged with an undercurrent of vigilance. The mystery became a local legend, a story passed down to new generations as a cautionary tale of unresolved tragedy. This cultural imprint acted as a constant reminder of the fragile nature of peace and safety, shaping the community's identity around a narrative of loss and caution. A chance appearance, the reality TV show. Decades later, the narrative took an unexpected turn when one of the actors on Life Stories recounted his youthful adventures traveling across the country. Known more for his roles as a charming rogue than for any personal revelations, he began to weave a tale of a fateful night spent in a small Midwestern town during the late 1990s. As he delved into the details, it became clear he was unknowingly describing the very town and time frame of the unsolved disappearances. The show's host, sensing the significance of the moment, gently prodded for more details. Caught up in the nostalgia of his story, the actor mentioned a peculiar incident involving a late-night encounter with three locals at a rundown gas station. His description matched the profiles of the missing persons, pulling the thread of a long, stagnant mystery back into the light of public scrutiny. As the episode aired, viewers and online sleuths began to connect the dots, piecing together the implications of the actor's narrative. Social media erupted with theories and calls for renewed investigation, and the clip of the actor's story went viral. This surge of public interest compelled law enforcement to reopen the case, with the actor's seemingly innocuous travel tale becoming the catalyst for a breakthrough that had eluded detectives for over 2 decades. The confession, Unveiling the Truth. The renewed interest in the case led to intense scrutiny of the actor's story. Under pressure from both the media and law enforcement, he agreed to cooperate fully with the investigation. Further questioning revealed that his account had been incomplete and somewhat sanitized for television. Faced with the reality of the situation and the potential consequences of withholding information, the actor confessed to more than just witnessing an incident. He admitted to playing a direct role in the events of that fateful night. This confession was a bombshell that cracked the case wide open. It not only provided the missing link in the timeline, but also implicated 2 other individuals who had been with the actor at the time. These revelations enabled law enforcement to piece together the sequence of events that led to the disappearance and ultimate demise of the 3 victims, solving a mystery that had haunted the town for years. The confession, while bringing clarity and relief to the investigative team and the victims' families, also cast a stark light on the consequences of past actions and the inescapable reach of the truth. The actor's inadvertent slip on live television had escalated into a full confession, highlighting the unpredictable power of media and the irreversible impact of truth on human lives and histories. Media impact, the role of broadcasting injustice. The role of media in solving the triple murder case was both profound and unprecedented. Traditionally seen as a tool for information dissemination and entertainment, broadcasting inadvertently became a conduit for justice in this instance. The live TV confession exemplified how media could influence legal outcomes in ways that traditional investigative methods could not. The case sparked a nationwide discussion on the responsibilities and ethical implications of media in reporting and potentially solving crimes. It highlighted how media coverage could galvanize public interest and participation in cold cases, leading to renewed investigations and sometimes, as seen in this instance, resolution. The symbiotic relationship between media exposure and law enforcement efforts demonstrated the potential for media to aid in the pursuit of justice. This incident also raised questions about the privacy of individuals and the potential for media to affect the lives of people involved in criminal cases, whether as suspects, witnesses, or family members of victims. The balance between public interest and individual privacy became a topic of heated debates, underscoring the complex interplay between media power and ethical considerations. The case served as a reminder of the pervasive influence of media and its ability to shape narratives and outcomes in significant, sometimes unexpected ways. The families of the victims, having lived in the shadow of uncertainty for decades, received the confession with a tumultuous mix of relief and renewed grief. The clarity about the fate of their loved ones was a long-awaited answer to their prayers, yet it reopened emotional wounds that had never fully healed. The revelation provided closure, but it also forced families to relive the pain of their initial loss, now compounded by the brutal reality of the circumstances surrounding the deaths. Each family member processed the revelation differently. Some found solace in justice finally being served, while others struggled with the bitterness of knowing the truth. Community support played a crucial role in helping the families navigate this complex landscape of emotions. Local churches, community centers, and support groups provided spaces for mourning, healing, and collective coping, reinforcing the community's resilience in the face of tragedy. The media's focus on the family's reactions also highlighted the personal stories behind the headlines, fostering a deeper public empathy and understanding for the victims' families. This attention helped humanize the legal proceedings, reminding the broader audience of the real and enduring pain experienced by those left behind. The family's journey through grief to gradual acceptance was a poignant reminder of the human cost of crime and the long shadow it casts on the lives it touches. The resolution of the triple murder case brought a palpable sense of closure to the community. For years, the mystery had been a source of collective anxiety and speculation, influencing local culture and social dynamics. The confession and subsequent resolution of the case allowed the community to finally turn a page on a dark chapter in their history. The community's response was multifaceted. While there was a widespread relief at the resolution, there was also a somber reflection on the years lost to fear and uncertainty. Community leaders organized forums and discussions to address the psychological impact of the case on the town and to explore measures to prevent such tragedies in the future. These gatherings were crucial in rebuilding a sense of community trust and safety. Moreover, the role of the media in resolving the case led to a renewed local interest in the power of communication and vigilance. Community members became more engaged in local safety initiatives, and there was a significant increase in participation in neighborhood watch programs. The case left an indelible mark on the town, reshaping its identity from one marred by tragedy to one fortified by a collective overcoming of adversity. Following the confession, the legal proceedings moved swiftly. The actor and his accomplices were charged and tried for their involvement in the murders. The trial was a high-profile event, drawing media attention from across the nation. The courtroom became a crucible for the tensions and emotions that had been simmering for decades, with every testimony and cross-examination scrutinized by the public and the media alike. The legal strategies employed by the defense and prosecution were complex, reflecting the high stakes of the case. The defense argued for leniency based on the time elapsed and the initial lack of intent to commit murder, while the prosecution pushed for maximum penalties, emphasizing the brutal nature of the crime and the years of suffering endured by the families and the community. The outcome of the trial was a mix of relief and disappointment. While the actor and one accomplice were convicted, the third was acquitted due to insufficient evidence. This partial justice was a complicated resolution for many, especially the families of the victims. Nevertheless, the legal closure provided by the convictions offered a concrete outcome to cling to, a finality that was essential for moving forward. The triple murder case, resolved decades later through a twist of fate on live television, highlighted the unpredictable and profound impact of media on justice and society. The case underscored the potential of media to bring unresolved issues back into public consciousness, prompting actions that lead to resolution and justice. This phenomenon, while beneficial in this instance, also serves as a reminder of the ethical responsibilities that come with media power. The emotional and psychological journey of the families and the community serves as a testament to the enduring human spirit's capacity to seek truth and justice, despite the odds. The case also prompted a reevaluation of the roles of media, community, and law enforcement in addressing and solving crimes. In conclusion, the resolution of the triple murder through an unexpected media revelation opened new discussions on the intersections of media, justice, and community. It serves as a reminder of the ongoing need for vigilance, empathy, and cooperation in the pursuit of truth and reconciliation. In the wake of the groundbreaking resolution of the triple murder case, we turn our focus to the broader implications and the ripple effects felt throughout society. As we reflect on this profound journey, we see how the media not only serves as a mirror reflecting our realities, but also as a catalyst for change. The resolution of this case has not only provided closure for the grieving families, but has also inspired others to come forward with information on different unresolved cases, showcasing the media's role as a bridge between the past and present. Communities are now more engaged, aware, and cooperative, demonstrating a renewed trust and involvement in the justice process. Law enforcement agencies are revisiting cold cases, empowered by the public's support and the fresh leads provided by renewed media interest. This case has indeed changed the landscape of criminal justice and media involvement, urging all of us to ponder our roles in the intricate dance of truth, justice, and ethical storytelling. As we close this chapter, let us carry forward the lessons learned and the hope ignited by this extraordinary event. Let's go!